WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. I have something from the Croithli distillery. So Croithli Irish whiskey, and this is part of their oak series. Now, what does a distillery do while they're actually laying down new make and waiting for the 3+ years for it to turn into whiskey? Well, they source whiskey, and in this case, the founders of Croithli decided to do a wood oak experiment. So over here was the first release. This is the Quercus Petrera. That is actually called stone oak. Over here we have Quercus Alba. This is just American oak. And over here we have Quercus Robur. This is European oak. Now, the distillery name is, if you go over to Croithli, just like it's spelled here, irishwhiskey1word.com. That's the name of the town they actually are in Donegal. Donegal is one of the most beautiful areas of Ireland that no one knows about. You have to go all the way up to the northwest, and they have beautiful mountains that go into the sea. They have valleys, they have cliffs. I mean, the cliffs of Moher are great, but up there in Donegal, they were actually even better. So, hey, Donegal is so rugged and just beautiful, and they have a distillery there. And they started about 4 years ago, I think, distilling. And they have a little tiny umbilic still. They do direct fire. They're doing a lot of good stuff, but this is their very interesting oak series. So I'm going to pour. Over here in Germany, they cost 59 euros. On the website, it's $75 per bottle. So that means I have basically here $225 on the table, or 180 euros. So I took them out of the box. So I did my German video already. And the bottles and the website actually give you a little bit of information about what to expect on the palate as well, which I thought was very, very good of them. That's very, very kind. All these at 46%. I think they're all sourced from the Great Northern Distillery. There is on my website actually 2 videos where I interview the founders of Croithli, and they talk about the whiskey, they talk about the distillery, and I tasted these 2.5 years ago. So this was Whiskey Live Dublin 2023. I did this. I had tiny little plastic cups, and I tried them. One I really liked, one I wasn't very, very partial to, and one I thought was good. So let's see if that stays the same for me now. All right, so I'm just going to nose them. I'm going to read what I should get, and then I'm going to review them. That's a very interesting nose. I get a little bit of caramel. I get a little bit here of, I'm going to call it barbecued peaches. A little bit peach cobbler moment. The Quercus Alba. I get a little bit of barrel char, actually. Interesting. And the Quercus Robur. This is funky. A little bit of sauerkraut, a little bit of a soy sauce. It's a little bit almost like fermented. I'm not particularly fond of this. Now, Quercus Robur, European oak, if we go take a look at Glendronach, for example, they use it for the sherry casks. It gives a chocolatey moment, even here on the bottle and on the barrel, they say, these casks impart rich ginger, clove, and cinnamon spice along with a roasted coffee and chocolate character. So I don't get it. I don't get that chocolate character. I get something funky, weird. Maybe something went wrong with my cork. I don't know. All right, over here, the Quercus Alba should give us here these casks impart vanilla, yes, coconut, maybe, caramel, with a hint of clove and smokiness, due to the charring and toasting techniques used at the cooperage stage. So I get the barrel char actually here. And over here are Sessile. This is actually, it says here, it's easier for me than this side. So it says here, the national tree of Ireland, the Quercus Petrera, the Sessile oak, synonymous with the finest French wines and brandies. These casks impart a complex balance of spice, almond, nuttiness, and stone fruits. Now, the thing that confused me, I'm going to use the word confused me, is where they actually sourced this wood from. It's not from Ireland. It's actually, we've chosen to source the wood from Slovenia, which is, according to the website, synonymous with Italian wine production, and it's traditionally said to impart the slightly sweeter character than their French counterparts. All right, so over here online it says the oak is grown in the U.S. and imparts sweet caramel, toffee, vanilla, and coconut sweetness. Very, very good. And over here, oops, I always go in the wrong direction here. I somehow, sorry about that, our whiskeys. Here we go. It says here, the wood itself, so Robur is more often used for European oak sherry casks. The wood itself is more porous than either of the Pretrera and the Alba, and much less sweet. The trees grow throughout Europe, but ours comes from the highly prized region of Slavonia in Croatia. So we have Slavonia here, and we have Slovenian here. I'm confused. All right, good. I must not be the crack at geography as I thought I was. That's that. All right, so I think I have a pink tint to my whole video here today. All right, good. I'm gonna try these, and I like this one. Cheers. That's a hit. Wow. It's got the wood. It's got a little bit, grilled barbecued peaches. Caramel. Sweetness. It's just balanced. Very, very well done. The first of the three expressions. Great. I'm going to give this a B- C+. Good whiskey. 46%. Don't really notice anything but youthfulness of the whiskey. Well done. I do like the color coding as well, by the way. Company, Croithli Distillery, well done. This is all single malt, Irish single malt. The Quercus Alba. I really do get barrel char. It's nice. There's a little bit more of that allspice, that little bit of cinnamon, that little bit of clove going on in there. This is my B-. This is my C+. Good whiskeys. Very nice. I like as well. So, and the last but not least, the Quercus Robur. That funky nose moment, will it transfer over to the funky taste? Sláinte. It definitely tastes better than it smells, but there's a funkiness to that. There's a sourness going on in here, almost like a sweet sour moment. As I mentioned, a little bit like the sauerkraut, a little bit like soya sauce, a little bit like a fermentation of something. Yeastiness, no. It's almost as if these two were one type of whiskey and this was a different type of whiskey. Now, I assume that they use the same type of whiskey for all three. But yet that finishing really did a weird influence on the cask. This is a C- for me. Value for money. I would go out and maybe even buy another one of these. This is very, very good. Therefore, I gave it a B-, C+ for taste. I'm going to give it a definite C, almost going in the territory of C+. $75, I don't know, 60 euros, maybe. This, I gave a solid C, C- for value for money. No age statement, hey. This, I gave a C-, therefore I have to give it a D for value for money. I would not go out and buy this bottle, but if I wanted to do a tasting, an Irish whiskey tasting, and have 3 different whiskeys with 3 different cask finishes, this is actually great. Now, what other distilleries are doing, or what other brands, or whatever the bottlers are doing similar products with wood cask finishes? Now, Glenallachie has done that a lot. I did a live stream in Germany. It was called The Leprechaun and the Woodpecker. And two friends of mine, actually, they took casks and they put Irish whiskey from Great Northern in there in a peach wood cask, cherry wood cask, apple wood cask. There were 6 different woods, elderberry wood. There were 2 woods, I forgot. And they just let them in there for either 6 months or 8 months or 10 months or 12 months. I forgot. I think almost a year they left them in there. And then we did a blind tasting of the 6 on my channel in German. And the interesting thing is, I think everyone liked the pear cask. And unfortunately, the pear cask had a leak, and there was not that many bottles from that. These are tiny little casks. They were able to bottle, I think in the normal was 70 some, they're octaves, 72 bottles. So at cask strength. So that was good. Who else is doing any type of experiments? And I know who you're thinking of. Write it down, and I'll say it as well. Method and Madness. Method and Madness has done their mulberry. They've done acacia, I think. They've done, what else? I don't know. Now, my question of the day is, what type of cask would you like to have? I don't mean what type of spirit was originally the cask and you used like port, rum, or sherry. No, I'm talking about what type of wood. I want, following the tradition of Jack Daniel's Gold number 27, I would like maple wood casks. As a former woodworker, I had the opportunity to work with maple. Maple's hard. It's very, very, very hard. It doesn't dent. I'm sure you can make casks out of it. Jack Daniel's has done it. Why can't other people do that as well? What type of flavor do they impart? We've had chestnut oak over in Germany. Has a lot of tannins there. We've had the cherry wood, we've had the acacia, we've had mulberry, we've had apple, we've had pear. The pear wood was amazingly good. What would you like? What type of cask would you like? So, WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. I hope you have been able to see these, and I encourage you to try this. If you want, try this, and only try this if you want to have all 3 and say, I've done it. That's my personal opinion, too. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and telling others. WhiskyJason here. Bye-bye.